Down, drunk at Disorderlies 39, 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 39, 39, 39, 39, drunk at Disorderlies. All right. So how you guys doing out there, TV land? You guys all right? Yeah.
Wow. Here we are.
Well, welcome to another episode of 39 Drunk and Disorderlies here at Bar 1830.
With Big Bob, Lars, Classington, and yours truly, Trevor Ketcheson.
Yep.
Here we are at 1830. Big shout out to Rocky and everybody here at 1830 for another great week. This venue we love, so thank you so much.
Yeah, this place is gorgeous. I don't know if you've looked around. It's like an Instagram moment happening to you. You know what I mean? Like
It is, yes. If you're in the audience,
you usually see other people looking cool in places like this, right? Well, you're here now. Your face here, you know?
Your moment is now. Big shout out to Jim Tubey behind the camera. Thank you, Jim. And to Cifer Pics.
Absolutely.
And
are we going to say
K-Rock
sidekick again? No, we're not going to do that.
he
We're not.
is
Cohort.
And his crony, Jabril the Thrill.
Jabril the Thrill. Thank you, Jabril.
Excellent.
camera.
Yeah, without these guys, the magic just simply does not fucking happen.
Big shout outs to the people who got us here.
Special shout out to Ziki Zhang Photography.
Ziggy Zhang Photography in the house as well, so we got to appreciate that. If you need headshots, wedding shots, shots of things
Back
stagnant.
shots.
I don't know what.
Oh, wait, maybe not. Maybe not the last
A
one.
little birdie told me if you use the coupon code Vikings at Ziki Zhang Photography's website, you get $100 off one of his packages.
What?
Write that
Hey,
down.
man, $100 off a packet of back shots? I'm telling you, that's a deal you can't get in over the red light district. That's
There you
amazing.
go. Yeah. $100 off his package. That's a hell of a deal.
What do you charge for a package, Ziki?
Right? Yeah, and if you're in downtown Toronto, come to 1830 Bar, which is at 9 Clarence Square. It's a block south of King and Spadina.
Yes, it is. And like I said, it's an Instagram moment happening to you.
It's a swanky joint, and
Dude, they have a
it's not
clawfoot
in the
bathtub full of plastic balls. Where the fuck do you see that every day?
imagery.
Nowhere.
There's balls everywhere. There's glass balls here.
There is balls everywhere.
It's because of that fucking package deal, isn't it?
There's also a pretty sick yellow Lamborghini, which I believe Rocky showed up in tonight. So
That is
Can we?
amazing.
We're gonna get some shots out front actually later with Ziki, so we're gonna use that Lambo. Thanks, Rocky.
Yeah, knowing us, we'll stand too close to the car and drop something on or something.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to go near.
Just come outside and shoot us, you know? Like, I would. Fuck.
Yeah, anybody would. What the yeah.
That's why Lamborghini. What are these
Well, we're-
artists doing?
it's 'cause we're here-
We're an art collective. We're just sitting on your car. Like, ah!
So we took last week off because it was Canada
Yeah,
Day.
here we
so
are. It's the middle of the summer.
Everyone was getting drunk at cottages and beaches and fireworks shows with fucking Gary.
With Gary.
The
Oh,
guy
yeah.
named Gary.
Everyone, if anyone doesn't know, Lars has lots of fans on Instagram, and
thank you.
they like to shout out his acts looking for Gary. So.
Two of my best friends, they're also actresses themselves, and they're also very beautiful, and they also happen to be wearing bikinis. Instagrammed me. They
Just
sent me,
happened to
they
be.
sent me an Instagram video
These are all
on Canada
happenstance.
Day of them singing the Canada Day, like my version of Canada's what I wish Canada's anthem would be, because I don't like our current anthem. I feel like now I have to do it a little bit. So it goes-
Okay.
Do you want him to do it a little
Do
bit?
you want me to do it?
No, you can't
Do
do
you
it,
love-
Lars.
Do you also think Canada's current national anthem fucking sucks? It's boring, is what I'm saying.
Blasphemy, man. You can't do it. There's no way.
No, I'm doing it.
There's no way.
I'm a proud Canadian.
We
We're
do
gonna have
blasphemy
to
here on
get
this fucking
crazy
show.
back
We
here
do
for him to
blasphemy on
do
this
it.
show. Let's
We're
do
gonna
it.
do it.
Some
We're gonna
blasphemy
do it.
coming up.
So I think our national anthem should focus on two things that are kick-ass about Canadians, and that's that we know how to drink and we know how to smoke weed, and really that means we know how to fucking party. So I hope this national anthem one day will be at the Olympics, and other countries will sing our anthem instead of everyone's old shitty fight songs about missiles, things, and shit blowing up. Aren't most anthems about fucking wars? Anyways, I'm ranting. Here we go. So it goes something like this. Canadians gathered at their cottages, drinking beers in their garages. hooked up with guys named Gary. And if we get hurt, who cares? We got free health care.
All right, that went downhill fucking fast, didn't it?
Second verse.
Carrie, like Jim Carrey.
You'll love this part. Canadians gathered at their cottages,
Whoa!
Like the first part.
smoking weed in their garages.
Hey, we heard this one too. Yeah!
Getting so high that it's a bit scary.
Here comes Gary again, folks.
Come to think about it, has anybody seen Gary?
Oh, Lordy!
Where the fuck is Gary? For real, make some noise if you've been to a party in Canada and a guy named Gary went missing for a little bit. Make some noise. Yeah. If you're not clapping right now, you are Gary. It's you, Gary.
And the reason you went missing is we sent you for beers and you were too high and just didn't come back.
Right. How did you spend your Canada day?
How did I spend Canada? Actually, I spent most of Canada on a bus going up north.
Wow.
I got the day off and I realized I didn't have to work the rest of the week. And my girlfriend lives 3.5 hours out of town in Kincardine. So on the spur of the moment, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to surprise my girlfriend. Make Canada Day special. I'm just going to jump on this bus and fucking ride the fuck out of town. Woo!
Old school.
So I took a stagecoach all day. It was intense.
I'm assuming I know the answer to this question, but did you bring bus beers with you?
How many? How does one? How does a
Okay,
Bob
so I only
prepare?
had 6 tall boys in my bag when I got to the bus terminal. because they were on holiday schedule and I didn't know that, I was like an hour and a half early for the bus. So by the time I got on the bus, I had no beers left, and so that there was no road beers actually, which is I guess okay. I fell asleep on the bus, and then I woke up because
Drank
some guy
yourself
named,
to
and I know
the
that it's funny. I should know this guy's name, but I do. His name. This is great. It wasn't Gary. His name was Dave. And he met some girl named Ashley on the bus. And Ashley and Dave decided they were going to drink the rest of this bottle of Bushmills that Dave had. And Dave had been drinking, like, Blue Lights the entire trip. Like, it's one of those things, you know, when you're the only person on a bus drinking beers and they're cans of beer. You see, you're sitting there in a quiet bus. It's dark. You're rolling up the highway. And all you hear is, and you turn around and there's Dave going. And he's the only guy that got on the bus with a cooler backpack, you know? And you're like, Dave, seriously, bro? Like, everyone knows you're fucking drinking. Why don't you just set up, Bud Light time! Just crack one, you know what I mean? Like, don't look around all stealthy, hide it down low, like, it's quieter down here. It's the same. It's exactly the fucking same. Okay? So anyway, I dozed off. I woke up, and this girl had been talking on her phone for, like, the first hour and a half of the ride. But we're not talking on her phone. Like, it's one of the, like, I'm taking a video, so I'm talking at my phone. It's like, oh my God, I'm telling you about stuff that no one cares about. But I have to say it as loudly as possible so I get a good pic, right? So she was in the back of the bus, and I guess Dave was like, wow, a really loud, abrasive girl at the back of the bus. That seems like my kind of girl. Hey, I'm Dave. Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm on the phone. I'll get you in a minute. 2.5 hours there. What do you want, Dave? Bushmills. Oh, it's more like, Bushmills. Well, yeah. Who are you? Oh, man. So, the last 45 minutes of the bus ride was just Dave and Ashley polishing off this bottle of Bushmills while Dave got progressively less and less sensate. And eventually he had to get off the bus, and she has to, like, help him find his, like, cooler backpack. And, like, he had a flag rolled up in a big tube. I don't know what fucking flag it was. I really don't.
Know,
But I was tempted to ask because I was like, I know it's Canada Day and shit, but is that a Canadian flag? I mean, is that what that is? Because I don't know, Dave. I don't know. Like, in Lars's version of the world here, like, Dave is the guy. Like, he's Canada incarnate, which is cool. I get that. But on the bus after a 4-hour fucking ride, when you're 7 feet tall and the bus is really small, and you've been like packed like a sardine in a crushed tin can with Dave and Ashley, and you're not drinking the fucking Bushmills. You're just watching them drink the fucking
Bushmills. Drink
Bushmills.
some of the Bushmills.
Because I decided I didn't want to know Dave or Ashley any more than I already did.
So wait, it wasn't this Ashley?
No. The Ashley that's here is more personally connected to me. If she was on a bus drinking Bushmills, I'd be like, yo, hook it up with the Bushmills, right? But no, I try not to meet randos. See, this bus ride to Kincardine back, it's sort of like taking the TTC forever. You know what I mean? Like if you ever had to go to work and like instead of getting there in 45 minutes, it's like 4 hours, right? So, you know what I mean? Just sort of imagine that. Yeah, right there. You're probably having horror nightmares. Like it's like get the shakes. Like
There's like bus stops in the middle of cornfields.
oh,
That's
actually
the kind of bus ride.
actually, there's an Amish community out in that direction, and they do catch the bus. And the craziest thing is, one time I'm sitting near the front of the bus, I'm chatting with the bus driver. His name's Steve. Met the guy a few times. Yeah, Steve. How's it going, Steve? We're driving along. We pull up to this like intersection in the middle of absolutely fucking nowhere. There's fields. There's nothing in the middle of the night. Blah blah. And I see this orange triangle like glowing on the side of the road. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I look a little closer, and it's a horse-drawn fucking carriage. I'm like, what? And then I look over at the girl sitting across from me, like 2 rows up, has like this bonnet on and stuff. I don't know. I just thought she had weird fashion sense. And then she gets off, and this dude, like the big black hat and like the overalls and shit, gets out of the carriage, and he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's Amish people. I'm like, what fucking Amish? And Steve's like, yeah, there's an Amish people over there. I'm like, that's awesome. Why are you taking the bus?
How are you taking the bus?
Wasn't that technology? Didn't you like say no to that? Like, no. Bill Barnes, the old-fashioned way. Fucking don't take the bus. Now instead, they take the bus. I didn't know that. Did you go? Something you know every day. Amish people take the bus. They fucking do. Apparently,
they're progressive.
Apparently,
the
they also
Amish take the
rollerblade.
bus.
Like there's certain technology that's okay. So like rollerblades is in, telephone is out.
The wheel. They're okay with the wheel.
Right, even if it's like 6 of them in a line, which is
Early
like
technology.
whoa, like you're skirting the realm of blasphemy right there. But yeah.
They'll use wheels, ramps. That
Yeah, my
kind of
girlfriend,
stuff.
she works at a restaurant, and they've had honestly will really rollerblade up to get ice cream. And I'm like, that would be the craziest thing to see. You know what I mean? Like people directly out of like 1855 on inline skate. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Like them missing the window. You can't stop.
I just don't know.
You want to know what's great about this podcast is also the development of a TV show of which we're going to animate some stuff. So for sure you're going to see a roller skating Amish person eating ice cream. at
Not
some
roller
point.
skating, man. See, roller skates are old-fashioned enough that it almost fits. Inline skating. Like,
Right.
you know, Bauer. Like, these are, like, top of the line, carbon fiber, plastic, you know, and then, like, the rest of your clothes were made by grandma. Like, it definitely happened that way. Like, it's interesting.
Can I
It's
make a
interesting.
small request from props in our department that they be wooden rollerblades?
That would be excellent. You see a guy in the background whittling a pair of rollerblades with a penknife, like, oh yes, that's how you make the Bowers these days, huh?
Skating, eating ice
We didn't have 6 wheels in a row. Now that's tempting Satan right there. That's almost technology.
Get wooden wheels and get going down a hill and they catch fire. The friction.
Improving 2 technologies at once, you know?
I think we can make that happen like Jackass.
That would be pretty cool, actually. Now I got to see a pair of wooden fucking inline skates. Fuck.
We're looking for Bauer to make us, for the show, a sponsor show.
Solid wood inline skates, like the
feel
whole
like-
thing.
I
No
feel like-
fabric, just wood.
I feel like perhaps the Dutch might know how to do this, aren't they?
Yeah,
the
they've got
wooden shoe people?
that part of the world is pretty known for the clogs. They're definitely got the
We've seen that.
That's good.
What's your favorite story about a wheel, Bob? Maybe,
about a wheel.
yeah.
Fuck,
any
that's stupid because I
wheel-based
have
stories?
one. That's stupid because I have one.
Yes.
Yes, fine. Okay, anybody who has family in small towns, and I do, and we all know this because of the tractor story from Pittsburgh, okay? So, if you have family in small towns, you will someday, eventually, be stoned on a hill with a tractor tire. It will happen. It's not just on YouTube. It's a phenom. Like, you know, people see things on YouTube, like, you know, those cat videos. Like, no, this got to be staged. Like, people don't actually do this shit. They do. Because when you sat around in a field for like 3 weeks doing nothing, and you see this tractor tire, and you're like, I have done nothing for 3 weeks. Yo, Christopher. What? Can you come here for a minute? Yo, what do you want? Yeah. You want a toke? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, you do. A few minutes later, see that tractor tire over there? He's like,
Do it.
no, Bob. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, it's totally happening. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah. 10 minutes later, ah! down the hill in the tractor tire. Awesome. So awesome. Because you could fit a reasonable sized person into the tractor tire.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Look at this, guys. We just got smoked maple nochi, and what is that? Oh, those are the peppers. Yeah, Toshido peppers.
Whew.
Oh yeah, this for.
So we're gonna have another one of those episodes where you can hear us chew throughout the. Someone brought us gummy bears. My God, and you know we couldn't help it. Like they're so good, right? So the entire show is.
It was great.
So yeah, you asked about I did have a tractor tire story. It ended with a broken collarbone.
Whose?
His.
Yeah. Wait, so he went in. You didn't go in.
Oh God, no.
You couldn't fit, or you would never.
It's fun to watch people do these things. To actually do them is ridiculous.
Right.
It's like running down the hill in a shopping cart. Awesome to watch. Wouldn't suggest it.
One time in university, me and two of my buddies rode a bed down the hill back from downtown London, and it was on wheels, obviously. But by the time we got to the bottom, the wheels had just burned and were like melted. They were melted plastic because they like seized up and hit rocks, and there was sparks and shit. It was pretty fucked up. This is the episode where we talk about things we've ridden down.
I saw the most amazing like shopping cart. Like I guess forward jackknife. You want to call it? See, the only safe. Okay, and this is a total misnomer because there's absolutely no safe way to ride a shopping cart down a really steep hill. And if anyone anyone like me says there is, it's because there's a shopping cart sitting on top of a very steep hill and they're trying to get you to get in it. Okay. Oh look, but the safest way, if you're gonna do it, is not to sit up in it all the way and not to lean back, but it's to get in frontwards cannonball styles. Put your fingers through the bottom.
Whoa.
And hold on. Because the bottom is the only surface of the cart that will never scrape against any surface like the pavement or another. So your fingers won't get ripped off if it flips over. And if you're clinging to the inside of it, you will stay inside the basket. And that is the most important factor of shopping cart riding.
So
because being ejected
write that down.
During the shopping cart trip is usually
one of the worst
immediately resulting in you being hit by a fast-moving shopping cart. Like, you get ejected from it, and then it goes over you, you know what I mean? And that's where the injuries usually begin, right? So, you know, you get the hockey pads out, get the helmet on, get some idiot in the shopping cart. They go. You need a good grade, okay? Like it's just not one of those things you do on like the bunny slope, okay? If you want to have some fun with this, it's got to be a hill that kind of scares you to walk down, you know?
Yeah.
Those would be like, oh wow, that's fucking steep. You know, if you're going back up it, you would definitely take the bus. You'd be like, I'm just waiting. Like I have a metro pass. Fuck this. I'm not walking up there. But that's right. Like yeah.
How about the old Pape Hill coming down Danforth?
That's a pretty good one.
That's pretty good one.
There's one actually closer to Jones in the back neighborhoods there. And what's great about that is it dead ends at a guy's rock garden. And there's no curb cut. So it's just the curb. One of those, like, you know, those faux timber wooden fences. Like it looks like an old timey, like some guy banged this fence together, but it's just faux boards like that look like that. Right. One of those little fences, and then this rock garden. Oh man!
That's just asking for it.
That's where I saw the most amazing jackknife, like this Ford like super flip. My buddy Dave, and I'll give it to Dave. I mean, he is one tough motherfucker, and to be fair, dumb as dog shit too, right? We always convinced him to do all kinds of stupid shit like this. So we're like, Dave, and that's how we did it. We'd be like, oh, there's a safe way to do this, Dave. Right? And then we'd convince him. We'd be like, okay, Dave, here's the thing. If you take all these precautions, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I think after the second time we like seriously injured him, he should have been like, no, I don't trust you anymore. But every time we're just standing there like, Dave, no, Dave. So he's in this shopping cart, right? He's going down the hill like 2,000 miles an hour or some shit. Gets to the bottom, just broken the sound barrier, and he hits the curb cut, just like boom, and the two front wheels just break right off the shopping cart instantaneously, and we couldn't believe he made it down the hill, because on the previous like 2 or 3 runs, that should tell you something too. He'd already done this twice. He was already bleeding, right, from wreck number 2, and we convinced him to go for wreck number 3. If you're out there, Dave. I'm not entirely sure you are. You might be in that great shopping cart pile up in the sky. But I'll tell you, man, this one's for you. So he hits the fucking curb. Wheels come right off the front of it. And the little bar on the front that's supposed to, like, I don't know, bash your ankles in the grocery store. I'm not really sure what that's for, right? Anyway, it catches the curb. Sparks are flying, and it then hits the base of the fence, right? Locks up. Boom! This thing flips right through the fence, like tears this fence apart, flies into this rock garden, ejects Dave. He flies like Superman across the rock garden, and there's a porch with some lattice, right, underneath it, and the lattice. And he goes right through the garden and smashes through the lattice, and he's like half under this guy's porch, and we're all at the top of the hill like, oh shit! Two of my buddies immediately just like get on their bikes and ride away. They're like, no, Dave's dead. No, Dave's dead. I'm like, I got a little more faith in Dave. I think Dave might be alive. So I come down and we put pads and helmets and shit on the guy. Like we didn't just like, come on, Dave, just jump in there naked. You'll be fine. Although we thought about it, but anyway, no. So I get down there and sure enough, he's twitching. He's alive. So I come over. Now what I didn't know is that the older gentleman whose house this was, little nonplussed with the whole afternoon of shopping cart races. So he had already called the police. I have a lot of those encounters with the police. The police arrive, and they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, Dave's pretty fucked up, man. The cop's like, who's Dave? I just point. There's this, like, trail of disaster, right? Like, broken shopping cart and, like, broken fence and this skid mark through this rock garden and this busted piece of lattice and 2 legs. Like, Wizard of Oz style. It's like, where are the ruby slippers? Like, sticking out, sort of doing this, like, and you hear from under the porch, fuck you, man. That wasn't safe at all. And the cop's like, what the fuck are you kids doing? And I'm like, it was shopping cart, and a hill. And he's like, oh, I see that, but why? And there's no answer for that because Dave said he would do it, man. That's why. Because,
Yeah, you had that friend who'd be like, you want to, do that thing? And be like, all right. And you're like, yeah, go do that thing.
And how much alcohol was involved pre this?
Actually, very little. It was one of those days we were fucking broke, like just so broke, like punk rock broke, where it's like everyone pulls their pockets out of their jeans and goes like, oh shit, I don't even have fucking lint, you know what I mean? Like, when you like try and lift something from the liquor store but fails, so it's like, fuck, we got busted shoplifting, we got no money, I guess we'll just go push Dave down a hill in a shopping cart.
A lot of times it's...
See, drinking can save lives. If we've been drinking, we've been too busy for that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that usually alcohol gets blamed for debaucherous injuries, but in that case, if you had some booze, you wouldn't have had to go fucking race a cart down the hill.
You would have gotten drunk in the park and figured out something else to do tell Dave to do. And
pretty much. It's like, Dave, drink the rest of this bottle really fast. Dave's going to spew. And he did.
Yeah, we had shopping carts in Ireland. That was the best shopping cart thing I could think of. Because we're in this town called Clonmel, and it was all cobblestones. so like try to ride a shopping cart down a cobblestone road, and
those are inclement shopping cart conditions right there.
I mean, yeah, I don't know quite how those two came to pass, but we were 3 a.m. Irish drunk, and you just see a shopping cart, you just you can't help yourself. I think it's a human condition, right? You see a shopping cart in the middle of the street, you're all liquored up.
I want to start a charity fun run where it's a cobblestone high heel race. So everyone wears high heels on cobblestones, and I think we put a ankle doctor to sponsor it, an ankle brace company.
Every 10 meters, you'll need like a little stand, like a little first aid,
just like baby giraffes just going down the whole way.
I'd love to see guys because they'll get a full appreciation.
Dr. Scholl's brings you the ankle break marathon.
Maybe I don't want to be
No, men encouraged.
I don't want to be exclusive.
It's men encouraged.
Maybe it's just men only to do.
Actually, that's even better.
Do it.
Bunch of guys who've never worn high heels before trying to run down a cobblestone street.
Well, no, you get women because then they just do it so much quicker. So
fuck, you do it during the running of the bulls. You combine the two. You have them run with bulls in high heels. See how fast they break their ankle and get gored by a 600-pound animal.
Right. Or
bulls in high heels. Yes, I'm talking about.
Then you wouldn't have to fucking stab them later. You would already fucking break their legs and kill themselves on the road. Right. Like I said, I'm down for anything that involves animal
babies
cruelty.
Running away from bulls in high heels.
Right.
Brilliant.
Yeah, all for some.
We've got
charity.
animals and children. It's the best thing you can possibly have in any advertising.
Yeah, I think Instagram will love
Unless
it.
you're advertising, like, butchered meats or something.
We used to ride cars on our bikes. So we would be biking and we would grab onto a car. Usually, typically, it was someone you knew.
Oh, yeah, my skater friends would do that. Like,
Yeah.
they grab them behind the bus or the streetcar.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
Remember that game Road Rash from
Hell
back in
yeah.
the day? And you used to grab onto the fucking...
Have you ever actually
That's
seen
why-
road rash?
I think that's why we all got it.
It's not a rash. It's really not. It's called a deep skin abrasion. Ask your doctor, okay? It kind of looks like the inside of your body is now outside because that's what's happened. You've taken all the skin off on the concrete.
What's your best Road Rash story?
Probably when you got
Wrecked
hit
my
by a truck.
bike. No, that wasn't road rash. That was face removal. That was more like having half your face buffed off on the pavement. I would call it.
You told that story, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, my best road rash story. I wrecked my bike on a gravel road. You get some serious wicked road rash on gravel roads. Let me tell you. Wrecked my bike going pretty fast. I was lit. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. I'm usually lit, so I was lit. Wrecked my fucking bike on this gravel road. I was hanging a corner, and there was a guy in a feed truck, screaming "Josephus" or something, like rolling around the corner the other way, and I just fucking lost it. I lost it.
What does that mean?
And you get that Josephus. It's the name of the dog that almost bit me after I got shot with rock salt. Come on, you never forget something like that. Go back to episode 6. You'll see. Josephus is there.
Catch up, people, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to remind Trevor who Josephus was.
You were here.
Josephus is absolutely anyone who lives more than 2.5 hours away from where I'm sitting right now. Everywhere else. If you can see not a single skyscraper on the horizon, there's at least one Josephus within spitting distance.
Is he? He's spitting right now.
I can
And those motherfuckers can spit. So,
attest that country road rash is awful because
Brutal.
You get the rocks in you, so it's like shrapnel instead of just
Yeah.
asphalt.
yeah, you get all the nasty abrasions you'd get off of asphalt, but you're also picking stones out of your fucking face.
It's like getting hit with a shotgun.
It's a lot. You can't just put some liniment on that and go, "Oh, I'm okay now." No.
You're supposed to use a lint roller. Just
Yeah.
roll it over.
New gravel remover.
Tired of having your face wiped off on a gravel road. It's a new product.
What you need is a sticky roll. Yeah. No, fuck that shit. I've heard more.
Was this
Actually, I really don't think it'd be a good idea to put glue in an abrasion. Chances are you just abrade yourself more. Like all the ragged skin on the edges just get ripped off. You're like, have a bunch of rocks and skin strips, and you're fucking no. This product is not going to sell.
Oh, we'll test it first to make sure it doesn't
Yeah,
just peel people's
Dave, if
entire
you're out
face
there,
off.
I have another idea for you. We're gonna test this product on you. Just hop in the shopping cart.
What is it with being on the bike and being lit and thinking, I'll be fine?
Every single fucking person I know that
Yeah,
rides a
hands
bike.
up if you've been on your bike and been like drunk, and then go down. Yeah.
See, the thing is, people ride their fucking bikes to the bar. They're like, I'm being responsible. You ride my bike to the bar. Are you fucking retarded? It's not responsible, okay? What that is asking for it. You said to yourself, if I'm going to hurt myself, I'm going to do it really bad and really suddenly and really soon. Those are the 3 choices you have made. You'd be like, yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Riding a bike takes quite a bit of, intrinsic skill. And you forget that because it's all become so natural for most people. You just pedal and you balance and you do that thing. Well,
like
don't
riding
ride
a
a
bike
bike for 20 years and try to ride one. That whole statement, it's just like getting back on a bike. That is total bullshit. You get back on the bike 20 years later after not riding a bike, and you just crash. Like you get the front wobble, you do half circles until you're trying to figure out what's going on. Like it's true, and everyone. So yeah, drinking and bike riding. Every single person I know who's an intense downtown, I ride my bike because I'm millennial. You know what I mean? It's important for me, right? Has a broken arm, broken collarbone, fractured face story. Were you wearing a helmet? Yeah, but I jackknifed in the back of a pickup truck full of farm implements. Oh, okay, well, I actually saw that. It wasn't farm implements, it was gardening tools, but it was pretty impressive. Me and the guy were watching the same girl, walked on set. I'm like, what? Hey, girl, what's going on? And he's doing the same, but he's riding a bike.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
And he's going, what? Hey, girl, what's going on?
No, can't do that.
Ended up in the back of a pickup truck, absolutely full of rakes and stuff like that. Loved it. Again, all you hear is, and the girl's looking over her shoulder like, what the fuck was that? She didn't even see anything, right? This guy goes behind his bike, and hears this noise behind. By the time she turns around, he's already gone. Like, he's in the back of the pickup truck. There's just his bike sitting on the ground, wheels spinning. Dude's invisible. You know, he's in the back of the pickup truck. I don't know what he landed on, but I mean, I can see the rake handles and stuff. I'm like,
Very cinematic.
well, of all the things you want to land on, I'm telling you, a truck full of gardening tools is probably not on the top of the list.
I like this episode because it's a little bit public service announcement. What did we learned how to ride properly in a shopping cart.
That may be the title of
we
this
just
episode.
we just learned that.
Learning how to ride a shopping cart safely.
Yeah, that's what safely is.
Remember,
here. That's
Dave, it's safe. You can do this. Remember, you have the helmet on.
There's a lot of lessons in this one. When should we do audience? You want to do audience mic at some point in here? Audience questions.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
definitely
I
get
think
some audience questions.
we're at the
Windy
point
City,
here.
Windy City Nick looks like he's got one.
Windy
Waiting
City
on
Nick
Nick
is already
rafters over
throwing
there.
All right, Windy
throwing
City
up
Nick.
the chains. He's probably got something locked and loaded
So-
just because.
Can I want to preface this. So earlier, before the podcast taping, we do a stand-up comedy show, and there was a guy in the audience from Chicago. His name was Omar. I referred to him in the comedy show as Windy City Omar. But I told him about you, and I got them to follow this. So potentially, Windy City Omar is going to be taking Windy City, the legend of Windy City Nick, back to Chicago. So
And maybe exposing Nick and seeing if he's actually been to Chicago.
I watched him walking away. I was like, no, I wanted to say
Right.
no. But
Yep.
no, like talking about because this will be if you've ever done anything similar to this, but in like a grander scale.
His mic's good.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah, there it is.
You hold it near your mouth. You can't get the package deal if it's not near your mouth, okay? Ask that. He's right next to you.
Yeah, I get it. I feel you. No,
Not yet.
Just I remember, I think it was at a Halloween party, and I did exactly what you're talking about. I rode a bike to a party,
Yep.
got on the bike. After,
Being responsible.
Like blackout drunk, got on
Yep.
and immediately just sort of.
Oh, yeah.
Straight
Yeah.
over.
Don't even make it out the fucking front lawn. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
all right, boys, peace. I'm out.
Fucking over. And then
Yep.
I blacked out, and then 3 weeks later, I found my bike. Because I couldn't find it for like 3 weeks. I was like, where is it? And I found it in an alleyway locked up, and I was like, I was responsible, at least. But have you ever done it, like lost something
Yes, but
bigger?
using a lock when you're drunk, like click,
Yeah.
is significantly easier than just about anything else. Like, I put
I don't know.
two together like this.
I don't know.
The
not
blackout,
me.
we don't know.
But have you ever, like,
It's the
lost
blackout
something
genius.
big, like a car or anything like that?
what's the most valuable thing you've lost while drunk?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
A car.
Well, do you think of anything specifically valuable I lost when we were together? I don't think I did lose anything really expensive. I lost my phone like 40 times.
Right.
But I always got it back. Like, people seem to love me. One guy brought my phone back and brought cookies. Yeah. He called and he was like, my ex at the time, who's here, by the way, give a shout out for Ash. She's in the audience. She's going to hide and turn completely red now. But yeah. Hey! Anyway,
Super red.
the guy like checked the phone text message. The last one's probably like, oh, I'm sorry, fucking just stuff and drunk and Subway. Yeah, right? So he goes the last number and he calls. Such a nice guy. He's like, yeah, so I think I met your boyfriend this morning on the TTC, and he was so drunk he kept dropping his phone on the ground, and he picked it up and then he was holding it, looking at it, and he sort of passed out and dropped it on the ground again. And I got really worried he might lose this thing, so I just picked it up. And I don't want you to feel bad about it, but you can meet me anywhere along this route and blah, blah, blah. So she goes to meet the guy, and he's got a fucking plate of cookies. He made cookies. He's giving back my phone with cookies. Like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
He clearly scrolled through your pictures and saw that you're a fucking huge giant and was like, I don't want him to think I stole his phone. I gotta
took
make an
the
offering.
phone from
like,
me
please.
in person. I was there blacked out. He knew I was a huge blacked out guy with, like, obviously with substance abuse problems. Like, look at this fucking crazy drunk guy. I'm just going to make sure his phone stays safe because that man needs his phone back.
Yeah.
Cookies, amazing.
Little
Couldn't believe
guardian
that.
angel.
Did you ate
Cookies.
them?
Damn right.
Do you remember what kind they were?
No,
Gifts from a stranger.
not at all. I just remember there were cookies involved. Because I've also had a cabbie who found my phone and refused to give it back to me. He's like, no, I want tip. And I was like, what? And I'm on the phone. I'm like, okay. So I got slick. I'm like, sure, no problem. Just give me your address. I'll be right there. That's key. See, asking me for a bribe for my own things is one thing, but asking me for a bribe for my own things when I'm standing on your porch, that's another. So I pulled up in front of his house. I walk up. I'm like, door opens. I'm like, you want a tip? Here's a tip. Give me my fucking phone. And he's like, oh. I hear his wife being like, where's the phone? Where's the phone? Like, she's like looking for it, right? She comes out. I'm like, fucking phone. See, I don't mind rewarding people for doing good things, but you start off by being a dick. If I was saying I love, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Steal a giant's phone, then blackmail him for it. That's a stupid game. The prize you're going to win, going to be stupid. That's all I can say. Anyhow, so no, the most valuable thing I think I ever lost was somebody else's laptop.
Somebody.
Ouch.
Well, I mean,
Oh, we got
More
another,
anticipation.
yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
shout out.
Give a shout out to Windy City Nick there. Thank you, Windy City
Thank
Nick.
you,
of
Windy
course,
City Nick.
always thank you to Nick
yeah.
for being here.
If you listen to this in Chicago, which you might very well be, remember,
Now we got
Nick has been to Chicago.
We got Sean
Allegedly.
Sirianni. We got
Allegedly.
Sean Sirianni in the house, who is
What up,
host
what
of
Word up, Sean!
Creative Imbalance.
Yes, podcast series.
Odd fun fact about how I became connected with you, Sean. We met at a Go bus station in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Classic.
crazy. Yeah, that's,
You remember?
yeah. That
Classic
was nuts.
tie into the
Yeah.
bus.
You had a
theme.
tripod and a camera, so I'm like, who's this guy? And you were like,
Get a tripod on the camera. I thought, this guy can take my picture.
he's like, this guy's
A little bit of narcissism over here, but that's all right.
This guy's in the biz.
Yeah, and then you booked me on a stand-up show.
Yeah,
that
you came
was
to the
crazy.
stand-up show, and
was
you
a
were
perf-
working with Scott Jackson, the
Yeah.
incredible beatboxer in Toronto. Shout out Scott Jackson. If you ever want to see a fucking guy that will blow your fucking mind. as a
Yeah, he's
beatboxer.
nuts. He actually just played one of the Raptors like playoffs, dude. Did the halftime
Right.
show with a violin, dude. It was wild.
Yeah,
That's it's pretty wild. I
He's
think
like-
I actually saw clips from that. I mean, I don't watch basketball, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, me neither. But I just was tuned in for Scott, and then
I
turned
just get
off the
jealous of
game.
anyone who might actually be taller than me, so I'm like, fuck you, I'm not watching this game. You get paid to be tall. I'm gone.
So thank you for coming out, Sean
Yeah,
Sirianni
cheers.
in the house.
Yeah. And actually, unrelated to the question I'm going to ask, I just want to say it's awesome that you are turning these stories into animations.
Yeah!
Like, I
Oh,
just
I'm digging
can't
that
wait
idea.
to see the episode with the bull tropping along and like high heels trying to murder people. Like, there's going to be so many memes out of all the things you said, like people like bailing on their bike and falling into rakes and it's fantastic.
Nice.
But I want to go back to something you were talking about at the beginning of the show, Bob.
Sure.
You were talking about taking a bus trip, always having a roadie. Have you ever taken like one of those really long bus trips and
Yeah,
you got all
last
your
Monday.
beer with you, but then you realize the bus doesn't have a washroom on it?
Problem solved. You have the beer.
Yes, I was gonna ask what is.
Have I ever pissed in a bottle on a
Yeah,
bus?
what's your go-to move?
Oh, but I don't know if I have a go-to move. Like the
I
thing
mean,
is,
you pissed in a bottle before. Obviously, they fill up.
yeah, I'm not really a planner. You know what I mean?
We've all seen Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I'm on the bus, and I'm sort of the Joker mentality. I'm just chasing cars. What not do with them if I caught one, right? So if I was extraordinarily wasted on a bus and I suddenly really had to pee, it would get creative quick. Like that's just the nature of things. I have an old injury from one of my fights that actually, when I really have to pee, it's like a now or never kind of moment.
Right, you're saying that.
So I have had a few of these like emergency, like, you know, grab a bottle, grab a can, just pretend like you're not peeing on the bus. Like
Yeah.
the best way to start that is to open a beer as you start to piss. Because the only time
You gotta make the sound.
because the only time, yeah, exactly. The only time peeing into a can or anything like that makes noise is when because it's empty, right? It goes. Psh. So if you contemplate that and just right at the same time, like 3, 2, 1, everyone looks over and goes, "Oh, that Bob guy's drinking again." Meanwhile, it's like, oh, you have no idea. Yeah, total reversal. You're right. Yep, I have not actually peed in a bottle in a bus, although I've really thought about it. Normally, I'll tell you this, and this is just something that most people should know. If you walk up to a bus driver on a bus that doesn't have a bathroom and say, "I'm going to pee somewhere," you decide. The bus driver usually goes, and pulls that fucker over, and I don't care like how late and angry everyone else is with you. The fact of the matter remains, if they don't, you can sue their ass.
Nice.
Because peeing yourself in public is one of those embarrassing things that I don't recommend to anybody.
Yeah.
hear that,
Trust me.
kids?
I knew you were gonna have a pro tip in there, so that's great. Thank you for that.
That's your pro tip, yeah.
One time I was coming back from the States, I think through Buffalo or Niagara Falls, and we were in the lineup on the bridge back to customs.
Oh, fuck the
And it was
bridge.
super long, and I had a lot of, I forget, I don't know if I had to drink coffee or whatever it was, but I had to piss like crazy.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle of this long bridge, so I had to get out. I got out of the car and piss down the grate, like the sewer,
Yeah, the
sewer
the rain
grate on
drain,
the,
yeah.
yeah, the rain drain on the bridge, like sort of between the doors, while there was like families everywhere.
Fuck
waiting.
that, man. You
Yeah.
just own that. You get right up on the edge of the bridge and you're like, I'm Canadian! And just piss off the bridge, contributing to the peace effect of this
Right.
bridge.
I'm not Kid Rock, all right.
I have been caught in traffic jams and stuff and ended up, having to get out of the car and like wander over the bushes and shit like that. And it's kind of funny because you look over and everyone else is looking out their car windows like, that guy's going to pee. Well, it's like, what, you don't fucking pee? Like, ever? Yeah, we're going to sit in traffic another 2 or 3 more hours. We'll figure that one out, won't we? Then you see them going, you're like, hey, you going to pee? you want company? No? Stop staring at people. It's rude. Then you crack another beer and get arrested. But whatever.
I have a question, and if this is off limits, tell me to shut up. But
Nothing is off limits.
This is your ex. One of your exes is in the audience.
Oh, yes, my longest term relationship.
How long were you guys together?
Too long.
We don't need to get into it.
No,
but,
like
but my question.
8.5 years? 9 years? Yeah.
My question is, did you ever think his crazy stories would end up being this? Does this make sense? This seems to make sense to me that his crazy stories would end up being a podcast and or a television series.
Oh, 100%.
So this doesn't surprise you.
No.
This is Bob in a nutshell. You can't walk down the street in Toronto without someone coming up to Bob and being like, hey, it's you, that
Right.
guy from that time that I... And it just... Every time. And he has no idea who these people are.
Nope.
He always humors them. And you can't go out with a night with Bob without running into one of these situations, basically.
Or
That's
what
true.
about having an experience where it's like, this is crazy? Like, I'm sure it's just like a regular night, and then all of a sudden it's like, this just got crazy. Because he comes in week to week and his stories, so it's just like, you can't make this up.
Yeah. For the...
Yeah.
The first couple years were a bit rocky, but after that, I actually had people coming up to me and being like, you changed his life. He doesn't do this stuff anymore.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, Angel, who righted the ship.
So
I
Bob
just-
is actually much better than he used to be, I have to say.
I've told people that. I've
he's
said
really,
that.
really good.
That's
Right.
that's what we'd like to get across in this, that this happened in a finite time
Right.
between the ages of...
You got to sow your goddamn wild oats, okay? And when you do it right.
This
Do it
is
right away and mean it. That's important.
This is a retrospective, is what this is on your life.
Kind of.
All right.
But yes.
Any other audience scenarios out there? Jabril the Thrill, how you doing? Thumbs up. All right.
He's so mad that you called him a sidekick. That's why he's on his phone not paying any attention to you. Yeah. Once on the air and then once before. And he's like, motherfucker, I'm not a sidekick, okay? Like, sidekick implies things.
Don't worry, man. Sidekicks eventually get their own movies.
They get their own spin-offs, man.
Yeah,
It
you're going to get your
pretty
own
much
spin-off.
happens no matter what.
That's usually...
Bide your time.
They get their own movies, but that's usually when the hero of the show has like a spinal or something like that. Then it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make the Robin show. You notice that never fucking happened. And then when it did, it was like,
Test.
You're on,
what do you mean
Jabril.
test? You're on. Just speak.
Test.
That's why you're a sidekick, right?
This
there.
is
Jabril,
our-
Jabril's a very responsible citizen. He went to pay for his beer, and the guy asked if he wanted to start a tab, and Jabril said, I'm driving.
Jabril, I have a question for you. Do you drink?
No.
Have you ever been drunk?
No.
Wow.
You're having a cider.
And
No,
Karim, the other half, have you drank or have you been drunk?
No, it doesn't.
High tech here
We're
at
passing the mic. The
39.
delay is the passing
Okay,
of
yeah,
the mic.
we've got 3 hands, but why use
Powerful sidekick mentality right there.
That's why he's the sidekick.
We're milking this one.
Uh,
And he just proved him wrong. Anyway,
Anyways, yeah. I've tried drinking before, yes, but
Settle,
what did you-
settle,
Wow,
settle,
what's happening
settle,
with
What did you try?
settle.
beer.
Beer.
But I was
Good
like
beer
when,
or-
when I was like, I was young. I was probably 14.
The age that none of us like beer. Right.
For
Got
14, 15.
So is it religious reasons you don't
If
drink,
you have
or
seen
just
me, I started
specifically?
clubbing very fucking early because I looked big enough to walk into a club.
Right.
very
Fucking
early.
right.
So that was the years where I started. Like I tried it. I drank beer, vodka, tequila, all that shit, but I never liked it. So I was like, "Fuck this! I don't like this."
Did you ever were you like drunk? You think,
No,
or like
never.
never black out or anything like that?
Nope.
So it's just
Sweet.
bath salts for you, huh? Like
That's why you never
straight to
liked
hardcore,
it.
like PCP. I
No,
like this
man,
fucking
I'm-
drinking thing.
I'm a MJ guy, man. I like my weed, but
Yeah.
Nice.
Give it up for Karim liking his weed. I love the weed too. Woo.
Love
Yeah,
the
yeah.
weed. Decriminalize it.
Justin
Don't legalize
Trudeau,
it.
you legalized it. You fucked everything
You
up.
Fucked it up. Now the companies are getting screwed. Over 3 friggin' kilograms on hold because they didn't have the right permits at the right time to grow it. Now their whole yearly crop is being held. It's a bunch of garbage.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this for this. When they had a bunch of storefront dispensaries running illegally in the city,
The Wild West days, man.
it was
Those are-
no. Honestly, I thought that was strictly civilized. It really was.
It was good.
Like I'm walking to work and I'm like, oh shit, I need a pack of smokes and maybe I need a half quarter. Why is that weird? I mean, that's the thing. It's obviously not like everyone's fucking smoking it. It's legal now. We're like, oh, we're smoking. The problem is we can't have civilized things. Not in this society. We just can't. Because society and civilization are not mutually exclusive. They're just not. You need one for the other, but you can have them without the other. So, for example, you can have a society without any civilization, but you cannot have a civilization without society. So we end up living in a society that has no civility, and so we have no civilization. We can't go and buy weed at the corner store. Our beer stores and liquor stores close early on Sunday because, Sunday.
The Lord.
Why, though? It's not like I'm going to 7 o'clock mass like, oh, shit, I should have bought my bottle of liquor at 4:40 this afternoon because now I got to go to mass and I'm not lit. Like, fuck off. That's just ridiculous. I'm not
Monday-
agrarian. I'm not
'cause
going to
Monday
farm in the
morning-
morning, okay? Like, I should be able to buy liquor where the fuck I want to, pretty much from anyone I want to. Like, hey, bud, why not? I mean, we have a draconian concept of social liberties in this country. And most of Europe is completely different. Like, you go to Portugal, you walk down the street drinking a beer, no one says shit about it. Why? Because they've been drinking for like 5,000 years. They don't give a fuck. Here in Canada, we have like 100 years of Quakers. And everything's fucked. You know what I mean? You can't get a beer anywhere. It's like, oh, 2 o'clock in the morning. Where's that liquor? There's no liquor around here. Bullshit. There's liquor fucking everywhere.
It's right
I mean,
there.
I work in a goddamn booze can. I mean, of course there's fucking liquor. The only reason booze cans exist is simply because we're idiots about our drinking laws. In other places where you can just go to the resort or go to the bar and get a drink, we don't have these fucking problems. And you can legislate that and protect it, and it becomes a normal thing. Here, no. Draconian.
For anyone who doesn't know what a booze can is, you want to explain that?
It's a speakeasy. It's a place that serves liquor against the license after hours.
We got Zeke on the mic here.
Zeke
Ziggy!
Ziggy
The package
Zang.
man!
So coming back to that thing, like no liquor in public.
Yeah.
I guess if you come to China, right, and
Yeah.
then they sell hard liquors in grocery stores, like
Yeah.
on the aisle, you
Like-
can just pick
like
it up.
groceries.
Yeah, like
Because
groceries.
it's groceries.
Yeah, and then you drink on the streets, and like
Again, a
the
5,000,
groceries.
what a
And like-
surprise, a 5,000-6,000-year-old culture figured out that drinking is still groceries. Fuck.
And the city's not burning. No one, like, everyone goes to
Yeah.
work still. Like, people who
Everyone-
want to do that. But
everyone is pretty mellow.
yeah,
Look, drunken assholes are going to be drunken assholes anywhere. It doesn't matter. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter what the law says about liquor. If you're a drunken asshole, you were probably a drunken asshole before you had your first drink. You're
There's
just a
been
fucking shit. Like,
I've
that's the way
been
it
drunk
is.
since the age of time.
So my personal philosophy on crackheads. You were a crackhead long before you smoked crack. The impulse to smoke crack proves that you're a crackhead. That's all. It's the litmus test. It's like, well, here's some crack. I want to do that. Crackhead. Right? That's it. It's not that hard. And drinking in public, the only people who shouldn't be allowed to drink in public are the people who do most often. I mean, like me. You know?
They just took the
Tubinator?
mic.
Tubinator?
The tuber.
I got a
Got the
St.
mic
Pat-
in hand.
I got a St. Patty's story.
Hit it.
All right, St. Patty's Day story.
So-
Perfect.
Does it
July.
involve ketamine?
It's July. What perfect timing.
July 8th. Let's go St. Patty's Day. Take you back to 1986.
So I got there at 11 because I had a liquid lunch meeting, and about stayed the day. About 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, other friends showed up, so I start talking to them, and near 10, we start we're still at it, and we called our friend. We said, hey, why don't you come down? And she lives Niagara Falls area, and she grabbed an Uber and came on down, and we said, oh, we gotta get some shots for her. So we're at the table. We have some shots for her. I've never heard this before in my life, and I'm Irish, and all that stuff. And they said, "Oh, can we get some shots for our friend?" I said, "No, you can't. You have too much alcohol on this table."
Nice.
And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. No, you have too much alcohol on this table. You gotta.
Is this a bar? Hello?
You're like, don't you know what day it is?
I was like, all right, well, let's go. Let's start emptying these things, and then
That's
all of my St. Patty's Day stories start with ketamine and end with prisons.
No.
That's a crime in Ireland, I feel. On St. Patrick's Day, getting cut off. I don't think that's legal.
No, I'm sorry. If you're a bar and you walk over to someone and say, I'm sorry, you know what, I think you have too many drinks. It's not you haven't drank too much. They didn't walk over and say, sir, you can't pee here, or why are you asleep on this table or something. No, it's you have too many drinks on your table? Well, stop selling me drinks. Like, what do you mean, why? What do you like making money? No, it's close. Like, that shit makes me mad. That's what I mean. That kind of draconian shit makes me crazy. I can't deal with it.
In Dublin, we were doing a tour with a bunch of people, and what happened was, so we were with some Americans, and they come around, and gosh, they can drink. So they come three-handed, put the drinks down, cheers, and they all cheers, and this guy is kind of hitting on this chick across the hall, across the table. And he says, okay, cheers, and he puts it down. He doesn't drink. And the guy across from him goes, hey, boyo, you have to cheers, because it's rude otherwise. It's disrespectful. He's like, oh, yeah. Then 3 minutes later, they bring the next round, and everybody's like, cheers, and we're all drinking. He's cheers, and he puts the drink down because he's still hitting on this chick. And without flinching, this wee, skinny Irish guy just reaches over and just clocks him. He said, I warned you.
Punch them in the face for not drinking a beer.
For not cheersing, yeah.
Cheersing,
Cheers.
for not drinking.
Right.
Well, that's an insult.
It's
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Big Bob.
How's it going?
Hi, Little Terror here has a question for you.
Hit it.
How many grabs, punches, kicks, swipes does somebody need to take at you before you will take an action back for your size? But if you were my Little Terror size, how many should I let them get away with?
0. Let them get rid of, for you, 0.
0 for me.
No hits, no pushes, no kicks, no nothing. If
Woman,
they threaten
woman or man
yeah,
or zebra?
doesn't matter. They threaten it right to the throat. Just, like, just lay them out. Now, for me, though, it's entirely circumstantial.
You're gonna be like Bruce Lee.
I guess, yeah. I guess it really, well, that's why I made that noise, right? Because I'm just like Bruce Lee. Shut the fuck up there.
In which was it?
Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon, when he just will not fight until.
You said that with so much conviction. You believed it. You were like, you gotta be like Bruce Lee.
Either that or he's high. We're not entirely
He's also
sure.
high.
Yeah, I dropped some.
No, but to answer
shit
your question,
before we
it's
started.
entirely circumstantial. There have literally been times where I'm standing at the door at the bar working, and a guy has slapped me in the face, and I just pushed him back a little bit and said, there are easy ways to kill yourself. And there have been other times where I'm walking down the street and someone and Ashley's gonna start laughing when I says someone looks over at me, and I make up this entire fantasy of what they're thinking, and punch them. So really, it's entirely it's random. Like I said, I'm not a planner. I just kind of go with it. So I'm actually extraordinarily patient. Like most of the time, there are 2 things that will immediately guarantee that you get hit.
Retribution.
If you spit on me, or if you lay hands on a woman in my presence. Those 2 things right there will almost guarantee you a trip to the ER.
Nice.
However,
Excellent.
again, sometimes that trip comes because I'm like, what are you looking at? What are you thinking about? I'm not fat. Maybe I am. And then just, so again, like I said, I'm not a planner. It just kind of happens, right?
What happens if they're bigger than me, like your size?
Then I fight hard and get beat up a little bit, but that's okay. If you can't take a punch, right? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If you can't take a punch, don't fight, because you're going to get hit. But yeah, no, anyone your size, period, and especially because, sorry, love, but you're a woman, never let anyone lay their hands on you. Just don't. Looks like they're going to, kick to the balls, strike to the throat, call Giant Bob, I'll hospitalize the fucker.
Have you, maybe this is the final question, maybe this is a cliffhanger if we run out of time, but have you ever knocked someone out accidentally, either as collateral damage in a fight, like a swing?
Not yourself, because we've done that one.
Somebody walked into it, or someone where it was a case of mistaken identity, like you were like, you motherfucker, and you punched the guy and it turned out
I
that
punched a
wasn't the
girl
guy.
out on her birthday. Totally by accident.
On her birthday.
After he's like, anything
Now,
against women,
I would have fucking hospitalized myself,
Yeah, right.
but the circumstances are mathematically unlikely. So, my friends were in a fight. Some guy at the bar was a crowded bar, like wall to wall, like he's jammed in like this. Fight breaks out in the middle of the dance floor, right in front of the bar. Too many people everywhere. My buddy gets bottled. I see the guy that's bottled him, so I'm coming in with a haymaker to drop this guy.
Right.
And this girl gets pushed out of the crowd, sort of falls, and she's falling through the air, and I'm going like this, and she falls into my frame of view, and I'm like, ah! And I try and pull it as best I can, but she just disappears, bang, into the crowd, gone, whoo, gone. I'm like, fuck, and the fight goes on, and things happen. A few hours go by, like I was working. I'm at the door, the bar, and this girl comes out the door at the end of the night. And she's got this humongous fucking black eye, right? And I'm like, oh, shit. I had no idea. And she's like, yeah, it's my birthday. Somebody fucking punched me out. She's like, I could have a better night. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm really sorry about that. She's like, why? I'm like, well, I just am. You know what I mean? Like, she had no idea who hit her either. She's like, I got knocked over, and then some guy punched me out. And I'm like, man, I really hope you come back next time. And she's like, why would I come back? And I'm like, because I can pretty much guarantee you won't get punched on your birthday again. But anyway, yeah. So, yes, I accidentally knocked a girl out on her birthday.
Nice. That was a great answer to a question I wasn't expecting that answer to.
As are most of Bob's answers. Well, we thank you all for being here.
Yeah!
Yeah,
Give yourselves
yeah.
a fucking hand.
Thank you
One
all.
more time, Bar
July
1830.
8th, middle of the summer. There's Summerlicious going on. There's Jazz Festival. There's Fringe Fest. All this will be happening, and when you hear it, it'll be over. So we do really bad at promoting stuff.
Hit us
We
up
gotta-
at 39DD Show. We can
gotta-
promote that.
Yeah, we got to
Facebook,
promote things that are
Instagram.
coming next week. So we'll figure that out in the coming days.
Yeah, it's pretty great. We actually do that quite a bit. We promote shit that'll be over by the time this airs. So we're like, yeah, you got to check this shit out. And then it's like, it's been over for a week. Woo! You got to love that shit, eh? Hope you enjoyed it, because it's already done.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
what can we pre-plug? Shout out to Labor Day. What up, Halloween?
It will be Christmas eventually while you're listening to these.
Yeah,
so remember, they're always selling shit around Christmas. Hey!
So tune in next week to figure out what you're going to miss the following week. All right? Cheers.
What you've already missed. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Good night.